Hey everybody, welcome to Unsealed and Revealed. That's right. I am so excited to have you joining us. We're really stoked. We have such an amazing figure, and I have such a great crew with me. As usual, I have Bree to my left, your right. She's on the ones and twos, taking all of your questions, comments, and concerns in the live chat for those of you on YouTube and on Facebook. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Give your cool comments. And what I'm going to say first and foremost, right at the top of this is a spoiler-free zone. So if you have watched any movies this weekend, I don't know if anything came out, but if you did, let's not spoil it for the people in the comments. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Bree's here, so don't be afraid to talk to her, ask her questions. She will relay those over to my man, 6-scale expert, and my benevolent co-host, Guy Klender. Guy, how you living, bud?
I'm living large.
Yeah, you are, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. I am very excited about this piece. I was stoked to see when we were told what it's going to be. We have, this week, the 6-scale from Hot Toys, Princess Leia from Bespin on Cloud City, one of my favorite designs. Guy, I don't have much more to say about this, so I'm going to go send it over to you.
All right.
Let's take a look at that beautiful work right there.
All right. Here we are. We have our shoebox style that has become kind of the standard in our Star Wars line for the 1/6 from Hot Toys. And again, with the new to the last few years, the wraparound with additional photos of the figure on the side. I'm going to lift up and try and show.
It says Star Wars.
Yep. Well, I want to show the box all around. I've touched on it in a few episodes, but it's one I still dig that they do. That's the acknowledgement of staff, your sculptors, and all that they do in there. And again, on the sides, you have the additional.
That's Princess Leia.
Yep, the additional photos, and these are photos of the figure.
I know stuff.
So we're going to lift up our shoebox and hear that wonderful sound. I just dig that. I'm going to set the front there. We get a great shot of how probably most of us will eventually pose this figure in our reveal here.
Who's this mystery man?
Who's this mystery man? For myself,
who is this?
I have the 2006 Sideshow Bespin Han Solo, so it's been a lot of years waiting for her to show up.
You don't just have a 2006 Bespin
No,
Han
I have.
Solo. Say it out loud, because I want to hear you admit this, because you have a problem.
5 of them.
You have 5 of them.
You have 5 of them?
Well, the exclusive came with a Minoc, so I bought 2 that way and a regular, and then
That's only 3.
You know what? When you want to increase the amount of toys you have, make your life partner one who also collects. She had 2 as well, so it gives you a few more. So let's take a look at what we've got here.
This is where we realize he's 6-scale expert and also 6-scale addict.
Yes, it's an addict. It's an addict. We have our instruction sheet, and it actually does have one instruction, even though the figure doesn't have a lot. It's a safety thing about moving the head before you are going to turn it from side to side. All right. This will also tell you, before we get into the questions about it, no, the outfit is not removable.
Which I think is for the best.
Yeah. And what I think more importantly, and probably the reason they're putting that up there is the outer cape removable, and it is not.
This is one of these pieces, because we kind of had our little powwow before we got towards this, where the sculpt is 100% the star of the show here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an unbelievably gorgeous piece, and probably the most accurate.
Yeah,
Carrie
they
Fisher that we've seen.
keep upping the game with the likeness that we're getting with her, and this is beautiful. So here is our upper tray. It's going to have our figure, her 2 additional hands, 2 additional pegs, and then underneath is going to be our base. Okay, we're going to lift the figure out, and we're going to discuss the base a little bit first. So I'm going to set her off to the side. Our base actually gives us 2 options this time. We have, I'm going to lift him up, show you that. It is a Mylar that slides over, and this is kind of the chambers and the nice walking area inside Cloud City, but that can be removed.
Cool.
And you've got kind of the floor and the hallway area. So it's just a personal preference. That'll slide on there, and then you'll snap in your stand. If you're going to remove the Mylar, you're going to have to lift the stand up and out first. Otherwise, you'll rip that Mylar piece. Once you place that stand in there like that, that locks it in there, so it's not going to move around. And then our peg. The reason I wanted to have this up is because this is where we're really going to show off the design here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now because the camera hasn't even seen it.
Yeah, we haven't done a lot of the
detail.
But we're going to do the head sculpt, and then we're going to work down. And then we're going to talk about pretty much the one accessory and or you may call it a playset, which is part of the figure base. So let's take a look. Let's just zoom in and take a look at the face sculpt.
It's so good.
Such a lifelike quality and brightness in the eyes. When we see her in the film in this particular, there's a lot of concern. There's the unease of what's going on. Where is everybody? And that really shows just kind of in the way they've shaped the lip. This is not a neutral expression.
No.
But it's not, a forehead crunched, but yeah.
Bespin Leia, I think, is where we really start to see the vulnerability of the character that we haven't really given her an opportunity to have because she's been in such a leadership position or in like a perilous position that she finally sort of allows herself that vulnerability during this specific scene. And then, of course, spoiler alert for Empire Strikes Back, that vulnerability ends up being a problem.
Yeah,
for
but you're right. I didn't think about that really until now that, New Hope, we see her, really in command the whole time. And prior to this, when we're seeing her at Hoth, she's running the show.
Yeah.
And this is the first vulnerable time.
It is sort of that opportunity for her to sort of relax a little bit, or at least to feel relaxed. It's a very, Bespin itself is designed to be a very sort of chill, relaxed, safe area.
All right, let's take a peek at some of the side views. Yes?
Are her braids flexible?
That's what I want to spin them around, show them to you, talk about the flexibility on them, and the reason for that one and only safety precaution that you saw on there. And that's what they're talking about with it. So the hair is incredibly tightly sculpted on the side. We're getting that single strand or
is
those
it plastic,
few strands.
or the rubber or the...
Yep, they are rubberized.
They look... I legitimately thought they were like a lifelike
that
hair.
they were the rooted
yes,
the faux hair.
That's legit what I thought they were.
And I wouldn't have been surprised had it been that, but it is not. So their recommendation whenever moving was to actually tilt the head upward, forehand, and it's just what they said about rubbing on the fabric. So anytime you're going to move it, remember where those braids are.
Hey, Guy.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite Leia line from the...
Scruffy.
What have we here?
Just a spectacular line there. Okay, so when you first get the figure, I've removed all of the plastic coverings on there, but you'll actually pull the head off, and there is a tissue paper around the neck base, also around the wrists and around the feet. Okay. Flexibility.
It's exclusive tissue paper.
Yes. Flexibility on this one here. Got a nice range of motion.
Wow.
On the hands. Wow. See, with the open hands, we do have our famous Christmas movie pose we can do. But you're also on here when you get the figure. You'll remove the hands off the pegs, and there is a little bit of tissue around those. Any place where the fabric would maybe rub on something else, Hot Toys has given it that safety feature.
Yeah.
All right, that little bit of safety feature. But while we've got the arm up, let's take a look at like the sleeve itself and just how, again, how tiny and delicate the stitching is. The cuff comes down on an angle. It's just really tiny. How they're doing things that incredibly small is really, really impressive. Now, she does have two swap out hands, more kind of in an opened fist. Now, she doesn't come with a blaster. She didn't have a blaster in this scene, but these are just more of a kind of an open hold. If we wanted, we can switch one out.
It's an easy switch out there.
Easy switch out. Because I'm going to be doing a little pressure, I'm going to lift the fabric back, so I'm not pressing hard on the fabric. Of course, I'm also doing this on the thing. I'm going to lift
Why don't you go ahead and...
I'm going to lift her down here.
Yeah, why don't you do it the way you would normally be doing it?
The way I would normally do it. But yeah, she only has the two extra hands, but again, this is not a time she was armed. Jeff really brought up a neat point, is this is the time when her character was a little bit vulnerable.
Was allowed to be vulnerable.
Yeah, was allowed to be.
To give Carrie Fisher that range of acting, because up until then it had always been a very sort of like go get him tiger, kind of like and now she finally has this moment to be soft. You saw a little bit of it sort of in the asteroid field and everything like that, but this, I like that Bespin scene because of that everybody gets sort of different opportunities from what they had previously had.
Yeah, what they did. So full articulation in that neck area there. They did state in the instructions there, and don't overextend pieces as far as the arms. But you're getting the arms; they'll go quite high up. Rave. Surrender, rave. Whatever.
Roller coaster.
Yes.
Whatever you want to.
But actually, where I want to talk about some of the other is here in the belt area and the waist. Whenever you are doing any of the change in that, know that is Velcroed on the very back. It's wraps around, so it allows for you to be able to move it where you need to.
Now it looks like she's in a hockey fight.
Yeah, if it rides up a little bit and you go, uh-oh, that doesn't look right. But since we have it this way, yeah, it's an odd way, but we do need to see kind of how the fabric and everything works with this one here. Yes, there is the zipper in the back, but as we said, this is not to be removed. The underskirt, or the short kind of tunic that she has, is a slimmer cut on there. So I would lift it a little if I'm going to do the moves.
If she's going to be doing hurdles or something.
Well, yeah, well, if I'm going to do, if you wanted to do a running stance or something like that with it, just so it's not going to put the additional pressure on those tight, tiny stitches that are on the leg there. We do have great range of motion, and since we have it back like that, we will do our favorite.
It is. Tread watch.
Yes, she has very fancy, shiny shoes. We'll show the shoes later, but they are again going to be a.
Yeah, they look great. I was when you were posing them out, I was like, I think I've seen these shoes before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, these are
nice set of flats.
These are those prom shoes.
I love
that you can get
cape,
them dyed in any color.
The pattern of that cape it keeps pulling me back in.
That's really definitely why we want this figure. The other reason I brought up the short under tunic is when you are going to put it on the stand, lift that first, down and over, and then it's going to cover.
Oh yeah, so it's not just two hooks.
Yep. It's going to cover the hook so you don't really see it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a little extra.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Sideshow Mel's got a question.
I like when you have questions.
Paul wants to know.
Yes, Paul.
What the texture on the vest is like. It seems like suede. He wants to clarify his question is for science.
Oh yeah.
What the fabric
is he referring to the? Are you referring to the maroon under or
the cape?
Oh, the upper.
Yeah.
It's a soft pleated, or not pleated, but a soft cotton that has a little bit of batting in there and then a tight stitch to kind of give it a bit of a roll.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Really nice. It's very soft.
But it does have a bit of that padding, so it is a fuller look. Definitely film accurate on that. And that's, I'm glad that you brought up a question on the fabric, because that's definitely one of the main points of this particular figure is going to be the fabric.
Is the cape or the jacket wired?
Yep. And that's what I want to work our way down on. We're going to talk a little bit about that and what you can do with it and some kind of safety, shall we say, when working with it. But yes, there is a bottom base wire on the figure here. So let's take a look.
For all those dynamic Bespin poses.
For the dynamic Bespin pose. Yeah, she really had her hands down at the side almost all the time.
Because you
but-
rewatched this.
This is the one I watched the most, but I did again watch it yesterday just to look, is there any way she's kind of, standing in a slightly different way, or really was more or less, the reason I watched it was to see how that cape moved. And it flows, because it's very, I saw it once at one of the traveling exhibits, and it is that light, silken, hand stitched
It is
here.
It is a very 1980s
Yes.
sci-fi
Yes.
vibe to the piece, and that's one of the things I wanted to highlight as we're going through here, is that the real star of the piece is the artistry.
Yeah, is the artistry on it.
More than pieces we've seen before. We've had stuff that comes with more, but the amount of detail and intricacy that's added into this piece is really fantastic.
This is a standalone. She's going to be. I'm very excited to finally have somebody to go with one of my multiple Bespin Hans.
Yeah. Surround her with 5 Hans.
But surround her with 5. But why not? But that you can have that moment. But she's definitely a standalone if you were looking to just kind of get that one unique Leia piece. But let's take a look, and thank you very much for my incredible camera crew to do this. We talked about being able to zoom in as tight as we can. It does look like it's stitched. I'm sure it almost looks like it's raised stitching, particularly in the black stitching that we see right here. That you'd swear that's actually stitched, but no, it is a silk screened on there. This is a very thin fabric, and then down at the bottom, you do have the wire. Now you'll notice that this looks pleated. They have done that with the wire underneath. They've pleated it for you. You can do it however you like.
So you can undo those.
You could
pleats.
undo the pleats, and I probably will undo some of them. There's another reason I pulled out probably one of the only tools I'll use for this figure is anytime I'm going to try and do pleats again, I'm going to hold it with the tweezers and give it a little press.
Yeah, you will. Because that's what Guy does around here.
Well, but you can give it, I'm going to open up some of those pleats. It's going to come tighter pleated, a little more than would hang naturally when it's in the box. But I'm going to pull some of them open and just be able to kind of see. There we go. And spin back around to see how
yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then underneath,
It kind of reminds me of like a butterfly.
underneath you've got
that kind of vibe to it.
the silky undercape, I guess we'll say. But it's neat to have that wire. You could kind of give it a bit of a flow, and as I've said, you have the Bespin floor there, so you can always have it as her walking on the floor there, or this or there, or just kind of the standard standing, which is probably what I will do with her, and have her stand with the Han figure. But again, that's where your pleats are. It gives it a bit of weight. I think it's going to give for posability and to kind of whatever way you wanted her to look, a bit more permanence.
Yeah.
If it was just that thin silk, it would only hang one way. And that would be it. And it may not really show off this the way you were hoping to show it off. Now the next thing that, well, I guess we should show off shoes too.
Yeah, like these. It's funny, these shoes, because these are, I think, one of the first shoes that we've ever had on the show where I've seen these.
I've seen these type of shoes.
I think my mom had these shoes.
I've seen these type of shoes. We do have the forward and lower bend, and articulated again on the ankle. According to them, they're saying don't do any crazy wild poses, but she wasn't.
She's not doing ninja stuff.
She wasn't doing ninja stuff in this outfit anyway. When you do get the figure, there will be a bit of tissue with this one here. So these are an easy remove for the foot. Take that off and then put it back on. But since we've got it off, I want to kind of show the way the thing is that because this is, not wearing a boot or anything else, the back kind of cuts downward. Yes?
Can we take a look at the tread a second time?
A double tread watch?
Yes.
Doing it twice? We can do that. It's the holidays, and we're in a giving mode. All right.
Tread watch part 2.
Tread watch part 2.
Look at that. It's a shoe.
Yeah, exactly. But again, there's your flexible ankle, and this is an easy on. And then I'm just going to pull the cuff of the pant downward.
All right. Cape. We're getting a question about if the cape is hooded.
No, there was no hood on this cape in the film either. This is one that just had that shawl style collar. And while I pull out this last accessory, I'm gonna let you take a look camera wise on the detail
of the top of the cape.
Of the top of the cape, and then down. I'm gonna open a little bit of the wire pleats to kind of show it off a little bit more. Now that pattern has been silk screened onto it. I told you it looks raised, but it is actually a silk screened.
Yeah, the detail on that is really great.
Pattern on there. Now, she does come with one additional accessory, and that is a Bespin Wall. It's interesting the way it's kind of packed in. We're going to go to the overhead cam so I can show it to you. Right now it's just looking like a white blob, but underneath, just to keep things in what I call permanent mint condition, push those out. All right, to release those, because that's going to hold that back in. Now, inside, and there has been some discussion on whether or not people are pleased with it being made this way, is actually the outer part is plastic, and the inner part is kind of foam filled. So it's incredibly light, ridiculously light.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom has a magnet, and we are going to take to the back. We're going to go to our close-up cam here, and magnetically it attaches to the back of your stand.
Oh, heck yeah.
All right? Giving you, magnetically attaches. All right?
The first time it sounded way better.
Okay. Let's all be quiet here. You, even in your homes.
I mean, the first time it had
I guess
that
you were
one
right.
solid one.
The first solid chunk.
You can never capture lightning in a bottle twice. Am I right, folks?
But the reason, my belief for the reason of doing it with the foam, yes, of course there's going to be cost, but this could be one solid piece of plastic. This isn't like what we saw with some of the Death Star walls that were done with the Stormtroopers that actually kind of had a light thing. This is more of a backdrop to give it that feel. And since I don't have to have anything in it, why have it? It's heavy.
Why waste?
It's going to be heavier to ship it to you. But also, there's that, what if the wall falls forward? Well, you're not going to have to worry about that. That magnet, as we heard with the kapunk and how it stuck to it, I don't have to worry that it's going to possibly fall over and knock my really neat.
It makes sense for that. Like
Leia figure.
I don't understand why
figure off.
Why you would need anything past the foam. It's all that. What are you gonna eat it?
Right.
It's like not enough.
This is a white chocolate bar, just huge. But there's the back of it if you need to see that it's I said,
I'd rather eat the styrofoam.
It's a styrofoam piece. but it's a neat addition. So you've got that on there, whether you choose to use it or not. And then
I kind of like it. When you were
I do.
describing it to me first, I was like kind of neutral on it.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing it that way and seeing the way she pops off of it, I actually really like it a lot. The vibe.
Oh,
of
yeah,
it.
right
like,
there.
look at that shot right there. That's pretty rad.
we can just hang on that shot for a bit.
Right?
I dig on that.
That's a good one.
With the white background like that, I think this is great. I actually might spin the figure around so
You're allowed
you
to
can
do that.
You can see the fabric as well, but you can really see that tight stitching that we were talking about up here on that cowl, and the little black tiny border that's around it
Little baby border.
as well. But since we have the figure on the background, just going to kind of
This
spin
is
it.
how you're gonna pose it, right?
Yeah, she's got a timeout. So
She's Blair Witching it.
she's. No, the reason I'm doing this is that white really does do a nice pop.
There you go. That's
But I know it does look like she's staring at the wall, and I'm sure maybe it's an odd angle, but I want you to see just the neat color ratio.
I
It's
would
also
do anything for anybody that's getting this piece.
Please send us photos
Yeah,
of
when
you
you-
displaying it this way at home.
When you get that display up and you want to have
And this is the
Timeout-
timeout
Leia.
Timeout Leia figure right there.
when Han was getting tortured, they were like, and put her in timeout.
And put her in timeout.
She knows what she did.
Well,
Guy,
yes.
can the figure stand on its own, or
Yes.
does it need the
Oh, yes. No, it doesn't. It doesn't need it. Now she does, to show that, I'm going to remove the stand, put back up our base, because I don't necessarily need the large holder there, but the magnet and the little ridges down on the bottom of that are going to hold the little Mylar piece in there.
Hey, Guy.
Yes.
Is this the first time Hot Toys has done a magnetic backdrop on the stand?
I don't know if you guys heard
I
that.
think so,
But-
I'm pretty sure because I don't think I don't.
Hey, let Jeff answer that question.
Yes.
The question was, is this the first time? Because I don't know if we don't have
Oh,
Mike on
yeah,
Mel,
sure,
so
we
you're
don't have
just
Mike on.
answering a question that nobody heard. The question is this the first time that Sideshow or Hot Toys has done these magnetic backgrounds?
I believe so. I don't believe that the backdrop for the Troopers was done with magnet. And I'll be honest, the reason I don't know that is I didn't use them.
Okay.
In my display, I didn't use them because I think I really wanted to have 50 of them to have a huge wall. And
Well,
only two of my guys have
you
them,
are our six-scale addict,
It
Guy
doesn't.
Klender,
It doesn't
so
really.
that
Yes,
makes
we've
sense.
noticed that it's. Who knows if it's expert? It's definitely more addict. But right now, I'm not using any stand. There it is. No stand.
Look at that.
Okay.
Leia stand. But
So
no
Leia's standing on her own. We'll show you the other option.
You're gonna. Oh, I was like, the other option is punishment. Leia?
Nope. Is the gray hallway? If you like that more than the all white,
You can drop that down.
or I can take that off there.
I
Have it
mean,
there. So you have different options. I've splayed out the cape to show the wire underneath and kind of the mobility of it. You're going to want to give it more of a natural flow when you do. But
one of the things that's
that's when you're going to be working the most on it. But even out of the box, I think she looks great that way.
one of the things I did notice too, because when we opened it, we obviously saw there's not a million accessories and a million hands like we do, which makes sense because the figure itself represents a time period where there wasn't much to do, but it was based primarily on that sort of vibe. As I noticed that they did price it accordingly, where it's not comparable to something that is filled with hands and lightsabers and stuff like that, which
Right.
I thought was, I always find that really cool of them to do. Where it's
Yeah,
like, that's
when they did that with the Yoda, you were
Yoda,
like,
yeah,
oh,
like
hey,
size-wise, yeah.
he's a shorter dude, so he doesn't take as much. just for, if you're going to go store it back in the box, I was very easily able to, and that's on the lower left-hand side, I was easily able to take this side and put those pleats back together and kind of push them.
Now, would you use it without the peg, or because
we live
on a fault line here in Southern California? Like, would you?
Normally, I try to not use them, and but they've done so much better over the years of hiding them. This one here, because it's going to be able to go underneath the tunic when it goes on there.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty well hidden.
Yeah, it's pretty well hidden. I think I would do it. Remember, this is, she doesn't have big boots or anything like that, and you're probably, most people I think are kind of going to go with a museum or museum pose or a neutral pose with it.
Or he's surrounded by 5 sideshow.
Well, I'm excited to be able to have her look upward at my Harrison Ford figure.
Like an Indiana Jones.
Watch your mouth.
No, that's I don't understand why that would be a watch my mouth situation.
No, it'll definitely be scene accurate because I can finally do that.
There it is.
I can finally do it with it. She's really. This is one of those pieces that I think is a long time coming. It's an outfit and a design that we all liked in the movie, and it was kind of that formal gown princessy thing that we never really saw, other than I would say the medal ceremony, which is a fancier white dress, but we never really saw kind of an elegant.
That would be a good one. Did we ever get one of those? On a ceremonial, a Masasi throne room?
No, I don't. I mean,
that would be
there was one by Kenner.
We don't talk about
that. But that's. It doesn't look like her, but it's the outfit. So it's a person in the outfit. It's a cosplayer.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful cosplayer. No, we can hope to get that one there.
There it is. I'm looking at you. Am I allowed to do that? Am I allowed to make demands of the people, Mal? Are we allowed to do that?
You can make requests.
Can I make requests to Hot Toys directly through there? They're watching, right?
Yeah.
They're probably watching.
I think this is probably one they've had requests for a long time.
Yeah.
Because it is very different. I remember getting the little tiny 3 3/4 one, and it had the vinyl with that printed, and it was one that my sister had to have, and I know I wanted it as well because it is such a different look.
Yeah, the vibe of it is really cool, and
it's not necessarily the action adventure-y one. So, which is why I think this works with a simple backdrop there, and this is really from outfit to head sculpt. This is about the elegance. The elegance of the character.
The Empire Leias are my favorite ones. Mm-hmm. Like, I love Hoth Leia, and I like the vibe of Bespin Leia a lot. And then I would say Endor would be my third.
Oh, yes.
Endor Battle, not ceremonial Ewok celebration Endor. Which I also
that's right.
think
There's that
good.
one there. Yeah.
I like that as well.
There we go. I've just done a bit of like a turn to the side. And
Guy, which Star Wars figure would you like to unbox next?
Oh, would I like to unbox next? Mm-hmm. That has yet to come. I really love the Leias. I'm really excited that for a long time the 6 scale figures, you didn't really get too many female figures. They were kind of a rarity.
Yeah.
They didn't come out too often. No matter how often one would kind of go, can't you do? Well, maybe nobody will care. No, people really do. I think my next one would. I've seen the Leia Endor with Wicket 2-pack. And I remember getting the Chewbacca when they did that, and it was a figure with fur that wasn't something that somebody made on their own. I loved that one. So to see the little Wicket and to actually pair that Leia with the deluxe Luke we did the other day.
Oh, look at you.
See, so I get to have them both
Synergy.
Together. And I might be able to see if the two of them, because we were asked the question and I want to know, can both fit on the speeder bike.
Oh, yeah, there we go. We've got a lot of plans.
We got a lot
of plans.
We got a lot of playtime. A lot of playtime ahead. So, does anybody else have any questions about?
Yeah,
You know,
it is funny because of the way we sort of have the figure set up. Normally, there's a lot of accessories to interact with, and this
a lot
one
of
is
swap
a
out
focus.
batteries, things like that.
This one focuses heavily on the sculpt, which means we obviously don't have the same. You know, the show kind of breezes past. Now we don't. We of course we don't condone customizing and swapping and everything like that. A couple people had asked, I noticed, if they can put other Leia hands on there. If they were like blaster rifle hands.
Well, it's not seeing specific, so I don't know why you're doing it. But the pegs on this are the standard pegs that we've seen on other figures, and it does come with 2 additional. So
That's good. I'm gonna get like a
we'll
Hot
leave,
Toys
leave it.
Venom
Yeah, we'll leave it
Put
at
the hands
there you go.
on my Bespin.
There you go.
That'll be fun, right?
Sure, why not? But it is the standard peg. So now, as somebody said, blaster hands. Why don't I show off the 2 hands? I did do a swap out on, which one did I do? Her left hand, which is the more of a gripping type hand. And there is a right one as well.
Do we have a 6 scale Lando by Hot Toys?
Not by Hot Toys, but in 2006, we did get a Lando from Sideshow.
Oh, because I would love to have a Lando
What have we here?
given the hand smooch.
Yes, you could hand smooch it.
What have we here?
Guy, who would you pose this figure with?
Well, because you asked, I was super excited. 1 of 5.
Looks like someone's down with the sickness.
Pow! Down with my sickness. I have been ridiculously excited, and this baby is going to go with my Captain Solo.
No.
So that's what I would do with it.
Exciting.
Yeah, this one's going to be with the Solo figure. But as far as somebody asked about different hands, anything that she would be holding would work with these 2. So I don't like to move too many of them around and go, where's the one from that box? But there you go.
Well, I guess we're kind of there at this point in time. Unless anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, I guess this is a nice kind of short but sweet episode. I guess we can give a couple of seconds for
Short but sweet, kind of like
Leia.
She's short and sweet.
Any more questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to address them in the chat. Now, that being said, I know we've got some fun holiday plans. I know I'm probably going to see Star Wars a couple more times, refine my opinion a little bit more, because everybody loves Star Wars opinions. I'm going to take a look at this Hot Toys 6 scale Bespin Leia, and if you want to, you can check that out at side.show/unseal-leia. You can take a look at that and really take a look at the sculpt, take a look at the fabric. I mean, this really is a piece of fine artistry. We want to leaning her forward like she's in the Moonwalker video there.
Yeah, well, I actually leaned her too far forward.
Leia, are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Thank you very much. So that being said, I guess, do we have any questions or anything? Or some people asking for a Lobot.
I want that figure badly for my follicle stylings alone.
Yeah, we don't support customs here, but a Lobot would make an excellent.
Oh, I thought you were saying I should
custom
cosplay
Guy
as
Klender.
Lobot here on the show. If they do a Lobot, I will come dressed as Lobot for the show.
You come dressed as Lobot all the time.
I know. Even with a Jedi hood, I still look like
that
Lobot.
would be fun. Yeah, there are some for the Star Wars piece. When you said you really want to get to that Endor Leia, I'm very excited about the Mandalorian and the IG-11.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big IG-88 fan. So when we had the IG-11 announcement, and I got to take a look at them at New York Comic Con, and then I got to do a video with Brad Gage about them. They were really cool. I got to look at the prototypes right up. I didn't touch them. No touching the prototypes, but I got to see them like face to face, and they look so cool. So I'm really excited about those pieces, and hopefully, I wouldn't be upset if we have more Mandalorian pieces too.
Well, I think they've announced 2. I think there are 4 Mandalorian pieces that have so far been announced.
Get me a Nick Nolte.
So
That's what I want. Oh yeah, that's right. Because
he doesn't have to be from the Mandalorian. He could just be Nick Nolte
there was
in
like
general.
the big heavy, the John Favreau.
Yes. What I've done is I've just taken the black backdrop that was here just to kind of give some contrast. We've seen the white backdrop, but if you happen to have this in one of the IKEA display cases, or against whatever else.
It pops really well against the black and the white.
Okay. That kind of light gray, almost a silver birch fabric color that's that outer cape. She's pretty lovely. What have we here?
What have we here?
Well, thanks for playing, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm actually really excited we got to take a look at this piece. It's a really great piece. I really like the background. When you initially described the background to me, I wasn't necessarily stoked on it.
Yeah.
Seeing it there, I have to hand it to Hot Toys. They took a swing and they hit a home run on that background. I really like that.
Giving you something just a little bit different. Anytime that you can have those scene specific or the play areas dioramas is a neat thing versus just kind of the standard.
Well,
so you have the option.
This is great too because it sort of reminds me of when we were kids collecting the action figures and you were waiting for this version of this character to come out.
Oh yeah.
You were like, "Where's my Bespin Leia?"
Yeah,
like,
where's my Bespin Leia? Where's my Hawthorne? This and the other. And so this, I think we saw her almost a year ago, first teased, and I just remember going, "Finally, that outfit." And now to
they did not
see,
disappoint.
They did not disappoint. To see the
well, that pose you kind of accidentally put her in is really strong.
For that one there,
if you turn it the other direction, turn it towards the camera, like the angle that you put her at.
Yeah,
is sort of like the
that's slightly opening up the folds of the cape, kind of lean her a little bit on one leg, and anytime and you see this on How to Be a Poser. Anytime you can do just a slight kind of turn or movement of the head like that, it gives it some life and some action.
Well, you don't normally stand like a 90s action figure facing forward.
But beautiful figure to add, and something that we've all really hoped we would get for a long time, and now she is available.
We got her. So again, if you want to check this piece out, don't forget to check out side.show/Unseal Leia, and you can take a look at that as well as a lot of other great pieces that we have if you just check out the website. Don't forget to check out our Facebook group, Let Your Geek Side Show. We are here every Monday, for the most part. Every Monday doing episodes of Unsealed and Revealed. I love doing this. I love having you in there. We are cresting towards the end of the year, entering the holiday season, and thank you all so much for watching, participating. Thank you, Bree, for handling those questions, comments, and concerns. Don't be a stranger. Come back next week. We're doing one next week, right? On the 30th? Anybody? No? Okay, great. Are we doing it? Yes.
I don't have plans.
Confirmation that we're doing
I'm here.
one next Monday. So check that out. Shout out to Guy Klender, our 6th scale expert.
Well, thank you.
And thank you so much, Bree, Guy, everybody here in the office, all the amazing producers and camera people and sound people that are knocking this thing out of the park. Thank you all. Don't forget to come back, and also don't forget to let your geek side show. See you later.
Hey, did you like that video? Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.